This is the Protectors Project. Real conversations about leadership, preparedness, and protection when it actually matters. Building better protectors one story at a time. With host Joshua Sullivan. Let's get into it.
All right, everybody. We were muted. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's off to a great start. We're still figuring this stuff out, guys.
This show is being broadcast for the hearing impaired.
I could actually do ASL somewhat. I'm still learning. I know like 10 words.
ASL.
It's like when I whisper in your ear.
Oh, that is when you donate.
Guys, welcome to the Protectors Project podcast. I'm Joshua Sullivan. As always, my trusty companion.
Fine steed. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yeah, I didn't go that far. Michael Stock's here. So we're excited to be back. We teased a little bit of the last episode and actually decided what we were going to talk about this episode, which made it actually really easy, by the way. Might be the new thing we have to do.
A very, very controversial conversation.
It's going to get good today. If you guys want fireworks, then stand by because the lighter's lit.
And if anybody has small kids under the age of 18, Christian or virgin ears, please leave the room.
No, everybody needs to hear what we're going to talk about. It's an important topic.
Not what I'm going to say, because I know me and you're not going to agree. And it's going to get heated.
You know,
so
it is what it is.
Tell the people at home the subject, and let's dig right into it.
All right, so we talk a lot about protection in public spaces.
Mm-hmm.
But today we're talking about protection in the place that you're supposed to feel the safest. That rhymed. Hold on. Oh, hold on. There we go. Yeah, so...
Hospital?
I don't feel safe at a hospital.
Courthouse?
Definitely don't feel safe at a courthouse, especially when we get threatened all the time.
Your grave?
Home, right? Where your family sleeps, where your routines daily happen.
You feel safe at home?
Yes.
Your wife
I would
doesn't
pity a
live with you?
fool. No, she does. I usually just from downstairs.
Oh, okay.
I would pity if somebody I would put pity on someone that tried to break into my house. That would be the worst mistake someone could make.
I don't know what the way these laws are written, so let's dig in, because
No. Is it the way the laws are written, or is it people not knowing the law? We're gonna get into it.
yeah, because my first case is baffling that I want you to try to decipher for me.
So here's the hard truth, guys. Most people prepare more for vacations than they do emergencies at home.
100%.
And so this episode isn't about paranoia, because it's not. I mean, if you get into some of the training we've had, you'll be paranoid, but you know, we turn it off when we get home. It's about responsibility, readiness, and prevention, right? Like that's the keys of this episode. So if you're responsible for people, including yourself, your home is your first post and the most important. So let's get into it. The home threat reality. Most threats at home aren't dramatic. What do you, just off the top of your head, what do you think the most the most common threats are for someone's house?
Shit, for me, it's my wife.
Okay.
But you have breaking and entering, people coming in your yard to steal property, your vehicle, something like that. If you have kids that walk home, a lot of them have a tendency to say that their parents are at work, you know, because, our generation, we was left at home at 6 years old. We was told not to open the door, not to go to the door, not to answer the phone.
Be home when the street lights come on.
Yeah, you know. But today's society, I feel like, is technology driven. So the kids don't pay attention to what's going on around them. So you don't know who's following you, watching your patterns, your everyday routines, and coming in the house, not locking the door, not closing the door. You know, there was a time where back in the day you could sleep with your door unlocked, or if you left it unlocked accidentally, it wasn't a problem. Now, today, you got to sleep with the damn door locked, the dog at the door, and the gun next to the dog.
Yeah. Well, so what would you say if I said that most threats at home aren't that dramatic?
Based off of my training, I would agree with you. Based off of, as you'll hear me say a lot, the everyday Joe, I would disagree, because anything that violates or threatens your home is traumatic. It's, balls to the wall, all hands on deck.
Fire.
Traumatic.
accidental injuries.
Traumatic.
You come down and slip on a sock that's on the step and you slip.
Break your neck.
I don't think that. So again, dramatic versus traumatic.
Are you taking yourself out of your training and expertise?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
right. It's easy to say the number one threat at home is somebody breaking in because we all live in the ghetto area, right? It's easy to say somebody stealing from us. It's easy to say somebody trying to rob us. But the reality is the main threats, the more realistic threats that are actually going to happen to people is a sock left on a stair and you slip on it and fall. That's not dramatic. It might be traumatic in injury nature, but it's not dramatic, right? It's not the have to call 911, you have to use force and shoot somebody, right?
No,
most of the threats that most people are going to encounter, now we're going to talk about those threats, but most of the threats that people are going to encounter in reality are fire, accidental injury, medical emergencies, right?
And you don't feel those are dramatic?
I don't think so.
And again, are you taking yourself out of your position? If I'm in the kitchen frying chicken and the phone rings, death in the family, whatever, and I leave that hot grease unattended, and next thing you know, a fire blazes, let's say I'm not trained fire, EMS, whatever.
So here's my
now
question.
I got a problem.
Are they going to make a movie about that?
Probably.
No.
They
But
probably
they're going to make a movie about somebody coming to your door, sneaking in behind you before you close it and grabbing it before it closes and coming in and tying you up and robbing you that way, right? There's more movies made about that stuff because of the dramatic parts of it.
I got it. But if you're living in it, when you went to your first fire, very first one, what did you, dramatic.
But that's from the firefighter side of it.
Okay. So when you experience your first fire,
It happens all the time. My wife tries to cook.
you're a special case. So the people in TV land.
Or my parents, my mom. 2 Thanksgiving ago, I'm sitting there on the couch and I think I'd worked the night before, so I said I really wasn't trying to do much. So Ann and my mom and them are in the kitchen. I think my sister was helping them. And I hear, oh my God, it's on fire. And so I slowly walk over, slowly put it down. Like it wasn't dramatic.
Because that's your everyday. That's built in you.
I think we're let's get into the good stuff first, because I get what you're saying, but I still disagree, right?
I think you've seen so much in life though that is not really much that phases you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
Like
yeah. I'll take that.
If I was to come home and the fucking kitchen's on fire, I got a problem. That's dramatic. That could burn down the house. That could lead to the gas line. That could burn down the neighbor's house. It's dramatic. It's going to put you into...
All right, let me explain it a different way.
Okay.
I think most people think when they hear of threats at home directly to the dramatic criminal type.
Yes, I will agree with you on that.
I'll put it that way.
Okay, I agree with you on that.
But the stark reality of everything is that fires start fast.
Yes.
Violence is often unplanned in close range. So if that's going to happen, it's going to happen quick, right? But it all starts with something called, what's it called?
I have no idea where you're going.
Give me a second.
Take your time.
I don't have holding music. Hold on. I'm just going to dance instead of think about it now.
The wheels are turning. Get the thought, Josh.
Hey.
Get the thought,
All right, we'll
Josh.
turn that off. It's basically it won't happen to me.
Yeah, you see a lot of that on TV.
Right.
When the news cameras are there.
Yep. It's it won't happen to me. It'll never happen to me. One of the first things you hear after like active shooter stuff, one of the first things you hear after like big emergencies is, I would have never thought he would have done something like that.
Or this doesn't happen in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
This is a quiet community. But like you go back to say, it doesn't always have to be related to the criminal aspect.
Right.
You know, it will be some criminal sock on the stairs.
Yeah.
Once I find out who owns that sock, there is some criminal shit that's going to go down.
Oh, yeah.
But
them kids are getting their ass beat.
You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, in between time, I get exactly what you're saying. And when you rephrased it, it makes sense.
So in a live
thinking of that
active
word.
shooter stuff, we have optimism bias. That's what it is. It won't happen to me, right? Like we're automatically conditioned to see the good in things.
Yes.
And the good outcomes more than the reality, which might not be good. It's called optimism bias.
That's what the people.
Yeah. So, but again, the biggest myth of it's not going to happen to me or it won't happen to my house, that's what gets most people in trouble. I'll tell you right now, in the 24 and still current years of being a fireman and a EMT medic, all that stuff, 90% of the fires I went to, the house didn't have working smoke detectors.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first start, right? Like things like that. So, they might be overarmed but untrained, because the extreme dramatic events that we think of are not going to happen. The small fire because your son's Razor scooter electric, lithium ion battery catches on fire on the charger, and you not having a working smoke detector, A, to alert you that your basement's filling up with smoke and fire, but then B, you don't have a fire extinguisher, you don't have an escape plan, right? These are things that will go happen.
Yeah.
But this is going to bring my first story out of this.
Come on.
Guys, this is going to be a great episode, I'm telling you. One of the things is guns without safe storage. And we look at, so we're at Discreet Security Services headquarters. We have our podcast studio here. By the way, our podcast studio, if you're in this area, it is available for rent. If you guys want to come record your stuff, we have everything modular. We have all the equipment. That's something we do is offer our storage or our studio for rental if it's needed. Shameless plug. I love that button, by the way. That one and this one. I'm going to be a DJ one day, I'm telling you.
Now that you finish advertising.
Yeah, for sure. Hold on.
Quick break and hear from our sponsors.
So anyway, here's the reality of it. Our office is in Anne Arundel County, Maryland. And 3 days ago, last week, a 7-year-old in Glen Burnie, Maryland, took the live-in mom's boyfriend, his gun that was unsecured, to school, reached in the backpack, shot himself in the hand. Got medevac to the hospital.
What do you have to say? Where do you stand on that?
Well,
disclaimer.
So
this is our opinion. Don't change the channel. Like, follow, subscribe.
Share.
You might not agree, and share.
Yeah.
You might not agree with.
But we're going to
what's
have
about
real
be said,
conversations with you.
We're
Right?
going to be real.
We're going to have real conversations. Let's get it.
So where do you stand?
So here's the problem. I was talking about my wife on the way. We were actually on the way to Annapolis to see some cousins that were in town this weekend.
Okay.
And she was telling me, oh, they found out it was the mom's boyfriend that lived there. His gun was unsecured, blah, blah, blah. And they found other guns there.
Okay.
She was like, I hope they charged them with everything. I said, well, here's the part you're not going to like.
Charge. Go ahead.
The boyfriend.
Oh. Okay.
So here's the part that I told her she's not going to like, and she was pretty upset about it. As sworn law enforcement in Maryland, as a Maryland Special Police Officer, and Mike's taking the training, just getting everything done as well now to be sworn again. The charge for that is a misdemeanor charge that carries 0 possible jail time and only a fine that can be levied up to $1,000 for having a firearm accessible to a child.
I understand that.
No other charges can be filed against him.
I'm aware of that.
And it's wild to me.
Why?
Because that should be a felony, or at least a disqualifying crime.
Why?
Because if you make the decision to leave your gun out loaded, that is your negligence.
Okay. And let me ask you a question. Just one question?
Yeah.
And direct answer.
Okay.
How many times have you had to use your weapon and the bad guy has allowed you to load it and get it ready?
Never.
Okay. So.
Well, hold on though, because there's an answer to that. At my house, we have multiple safes throughout the house. Okay. The keys aren't kept with the safe; they're kept in a different location. And then the one directly next to my bed on the bedstand, all I have to do is literally go like this, and it opens up and I grab it, and it's already loaded, already ready to go.
Have you taught your kids, the 3 of them? Have you taught them gun safety?
Yes.
Have you taught them?
My 2. My stepson, I haven't had a chance yet.
Okay, but is he knowledgeable enough to know that that's dad's, don't touch it?
But 100%.
Okay. So, people in camera world, I taught my daughter everything about all the guns I have, how to operate them, how to use them, everything. I feel like if you instill the knowledge, then it takes away that curiosity. You know how
7-year-old is different though. A 7-year-old is absolutely different from
No,
that.
it's
A
not.
7-year-old, you can train with a training weapon like we use at Discreet, right? We go levels, so we have blue plastic, we have SIRT pistols that shoot lasers that are identical models
How's it
to
different?
real. Because a 7-year-old doesn't have the capability in their brain, they're still learning right from wrong. They're still learning all that kind of stuff. So they're not,
So if
to
you're not
me, they're not
teaching them-
ready to be there yet.
But if you're not teaching them,
My kids are different than other kids.
I agree with you.
Right.
But if I say, don't touch the stove, but I never tell you why, and this analogy has been used for how many years? You don't know why I'm saying don't touch that stove. So curiosity is going to get the best of you. You're going to touch that stove, burn the shit out of yourself, and then you're going to realize that stove is hot. If I tell you don't touch this gun, but I've also taken you out, I've shown you what this gun can do. Remember when we used to shoot gallon jugs of water to simulate what a bullet would do to the body? If I show you what this can do and I tell you what the ramifications are of you touching it, I feel like once you know better, you can do better. If you just tell a kid...
So you don't think that that person should be held responsible for leaving his gun unsecured and loaded to where the 7-year-old even had the ability to take it to a school and shoot his hand and could have killed somebody else or himself?
I don't know the full circumstances.
That's what it is.
I'm asking, was it like on the night shelf?
Yeah, it was out loaded and not secured. And he put it in his book bag. When he was trying to show his friends in class, he put his hand in the book bag, pulled the trigger, and shot his hand. Thank God nobody else got hit, and he wasn't seriously injured. You don't think there's any responsibility on the gun owner's part of that?
Oh, I believe it's responsibility. But my question, I don't think you should go to jail, even though the law doesn't say it. But I'm saying
because it was an accident.
I don't think you should go to jail. Not because it was an accident, because you have the right to protect your home.
What is
If
that?
my gun
They
is-
make biometric safes that are instant to where they come out.
How do you know he can financially afford one?
Doesn't matter.
So
The
what
law says you have to keep your firearm away and not accessible to kids. That's what the law said from day one.
My daughter don't sleep in my room. So, and my daughter's grown, but
That's not secure
nonetheless.
though.
So I'm asking you,
Right.
take your biometric safe out of this.
Uh-huh.
You have a safe.
Uh-huh.
Bob breaks in. Is Bob going to allow you to go to that safe, unlock it, get your weapon?
No, but I've trained at that point to be able to get there quickly and get it out and ready.
90% of the people watching this haven't trained, so
That's the problem.
So I ask you again.
They should have better training to get their license or permits.
DSSIMD.com. But my question is,
240-761-7266.
he's going to get this eventually before the end of this podcast, y'all.
Probably not.
My question is, how do you fault the parent? Because I'm sure he had
The parent's fault that it was unsecured.
So no responsibility falls on the child at this point.
No, it's a child.
So
That 7-year-old still doesn't know right from wrong.
have you taught that 7-year-old right from wrong?
It doesn't matter.
Why not?
Even if you've taught it, at the age of 7 is when you're starting to develop your own sense of what's right and what's wrong. Scientifically, psychologically, that age is when you start to figure out what's right and what's wrong and
So
how to
lesson
distinguish.
number 1 is touch this gun and I'm gonna whoop your ass. I think that will stick with you 7, 8.
But you have parents that won't even fucking tell their kids they did something wrong. They do positive reinforcement only.
Then we need to talk
So
about that.
so let me ask you this though, because you said that
gentle parenting is going to be the next one.
oh god, that would be not a good episode. Too much personal shit, I'd say. You think the responsibility isn't fully on the owner of the gun.
No.
So where do you stand on that female cop that accidentally shot the guy instead of pointing his taser?
I blame that on her.
What's the difference?
She should have known to carry it on the opposite side.
She was carrying on the opposite side.
She should have been better.
She was in the fight for her life and pulled the wrong thing. But you think she should go to jail?
No, I never said she should go
So
to jail.
do you think she should go to jail?
No.
But she did.
I wasn't on the jury.
So I mean, you see
No,
my point though?
I see your
right? Like
point, but I feel
all right.
like-
So to the audience, doctors, what happens to doctors when they kill somebody on the table? You have this going on right now.
And that's another funny one because it's called malpractice.
Okay.
I think after you've gone to school for so long and you've been doing this for 20 years, practice should be out the window. But
Right.
this is how the law is set
And what
up.
happens?
They go to jail or whatever.
No.
I mean, they got lawyers for that.
No, they don't go to jail.
They can.
Their insurance pays out a malpractice fee.
And if it exceeds the malpractice fee, look at Michael Jackson's doctor.
That
Here's my question to you.
was criminal in nature because he was giving the wrong things. But if you make a mistake as a doctor in surgery and someone dies, you don't go to jail for that.
Okay. Child's not 17, and does the same exact thing.
Well, 17, they're not considered a child in the state of Maryland, they're not considered a child at that point.
11.
Okay, what about it?
Does the same exact thing.
Parents are still responsible because it's a minor.
So at what point in time do you say the child should know better? Are you just saying that every child that commits a crime?
I think the child should absolutely know better. And in my household, the child would know better.
Okay, 10-year-old goes to school.
But the law says that until that child is not a child anymore, you are directly responsible for the acts of those children.
Okay.
Think about it, right? In the SPO class that you took, are we even allowed to talk to a minor without even talking to a lawyer? Even if the parent says, yes, you can go talk to them,
No,
we are required, right?
So 10-year-old boy goes to school, finds out his little girlfriend's cheating on him, takes a pencil off of his desk, stabs and kills her. Parents at fault too?
I would say legally, yes.
Why? My child was at school.
I see where you're at. I don't disagree with you, but what's legal and what happens is different than what I believe should, and I think you believe should happen.
I believe that there should be some accountability to the parent, but there should be more not more. There should be also accountability.
In the state of Maryland, you
you
can't even charge that child with a crime.
See my point?
This
This is why I say this, because we're going really far left, guys. We're going to come back. But you take discipline out of the house, and this is the result of it.
I don't disagree.
Because now, if you raise your voice at your child too loud, they go to school and tell the teacher that they're suicidal because daddy yelled at them. Next thing you know, CPS is at your house and you're under investigation. But look at the generation that we're raising. So now you've got, when me and you was going...
Then you add a divorced household in.
But when me and you was coming up, the shit that the kids are doing now,
we would have got our asses beat.
It was unheard of.
Yeah.
Kids going to school, killing kids, and all unheard of.
11-year-olds still in cars and running from the cops.
I got in trouble at school for saying something inappropriate to the teacher.
That doesn't shock me.
Me either, but I never prayed to God so hard that something would happen to my mother before she got to that school, because I knew an ass whooping was in my future, guaranteed.
Yeah.
You called my mother from her job because I was doing something. It wasn't, oh, let's blame the mother. I was 100% liable, and mom was coming, and there was no conversation. Because when I grew up, what the teacher said, whether the teacher was lying on you or not, what the teacher said is what went.
Yeah.
And when she was coming up to school, she didn't want to hear excuses, explanations, or apologies. It was ass whooping time, and that's the end of it. And you went back to class, eyes bloodshot red, tears running down your face, and you had to get yourself together in 30 seconds. And the principal didn't call the
different
CPS
world.
and shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's a different world completely.
But back to where we were. Sorry, guys. We're coming back around. Had a friend. The guy broke into her house. She had literally just had something done to the kitchen floor. He fell, and in the process of falling, knocked over the butcher's block and ended up stabbing himself in the shoulder. He went to court and sued her. Where do you stand on that? I see the look on your face. Where do you stand?
Okay. Is that what really happened?
Yeah.
Like, from your friend, she told you that's what really happened.
I'm glad you said that. From her side, that's what happened. So all I can go by is what she said happened.
Right. And there's no cameras, there's no anything.
She doesn't have cameras in her house.
And just knocking over a butcher block. In my experience, my training, my experience, what is it? My training, my experience.
And my knowledge.
And my knowledge, right? You're not just going to knock over a butcher block and all of a sudden that one knife comes out and goes, or in your back.
Yeah, I get you. How was you able?
Did you just get that?
I caught
that. Yeah.
I'm gonna move past it for this episode. But how are you able to sue?
You can sue anyone for anything.
And do you see a problem with that in today's
I absolutely
legal
do.
system?
I do, because especially like for us. Let's not say for us. I don't want to give people ideas. A red flag law can ruin someone's life whether they're right or wrong, right? A red flag law, for those that don't know, somebody that has guns, somebody that has whatever, somebody goes, there's a couple different people, police officers, mental health responders, physicians, or intimates of the person. So somebody with very close knowledge of them can go and say, hey, this person said they're going to kill me if I break up with him. He has guns. I think he might do it. And they're going to get a extreme risk protective order and go take their guns until they show they're innocent. So it's not anymore you're innocent until proven guilty. For a red flag law especially, you're guilty until you prove your innocence. And don't get me wrong, I do think that saves lives, but not all the time, right? There's manipulative people out there that do things, and thank God there are some protections in place and there's legal things that you can do. But so first off, my immediate thing as a detective is that sounds like BS that your friend's saying, right? What it sounds like to me is that's the story they're going with.
No,
because
hold on. So that's the story that
she used as her defense.
No, that's the story he used to sue her. That he literally broke into her house, whatever she just mopped or whatever the fuck she done to the kitchen floor, he fell and it knocked over the block.
Did he
and
win?
One of the knives stabbed him.
Did he win?
I haven't talked to her since because I felt like there was so many details missing.
I thought you meant, like in my mind, I'm thinking that that's what she said, but in reality, she stabbed him.
No, that's what he said when he got to court. And
that's wild.
That's one of the other things that I would recommend for people to get training on. I had a gentleman 2 doors down from where I live, and God rest his soul, he's gone now. He passed from a heart attack. There was a guy actively trying to kick in his front door. I mean, like literally kicking. And he took his 12-gauge shotgun and shot through the door and killed him, and they locked him up for it. There has to be...
They locked the guy that shot through the door?
Yeah, they locked the neighbor up. Because they said he could have went somewhere and hid and called the police. Instead, he shot, and it wasn't an immediate threat because he was on the outside of the door.
All right, so let's get into the law. So let's go ahead and put this out there first, right? Because I think this is important. We're talking about Maryland right now for all the listeners. Most laws are kind of similar. Some are stronger for the homeowner.
Unless you live in Virginia, that Commonwealth will get you.
So in the state of Maryland, there is what's called a duty to retreat. The duty to retreat is only for someone outside of their home, and it's only for if your safety allows it and there's no danger or peril, right? That's apparent, imminent, or immediate. You have to retreat, right? So one of the things we do in our firearms class when we're teaching, is we say you are in the Walmart parking lot. Somebody approaches you and says, "Oh, I heard you're trying to bang my girl." You don't know who they are. They're obviously impaired, intoxicated. And you see that they have a firearm sitting, here, let me switch real quick. You see that they have a firearm sitting in the front, like their appendix carry. No holster, just sitting in there. And you have your CCW. Can you shoot?
Me personally, yeah.
So you would go to jail.
Yeah.
Right? Because the law in Maryland says just having a gun doesn't make you a criminal, right? I don't suspect you of a crime yet because you can carry a gun. Now, you could get into like, it has to be concealed, all that kind of stuff, but you're not a cop, right? So in that instance, this is just an everyday Joe, right? You can't say that there's immediate, apparent, or imminent threat of grievous bodily injury or death at that point. Now, same scenario, but now I have my hand on the gun and saying, "Oh, you know, I'm talking shit like, oh, you trying to bang my girl, you trying to steal my girl, like I'm gonna kill you," and I have my hand on my gun. Can you shoot?
I'm still gonna shoot you in both cases.
Well, but the first case, you would have went to jail. The second case, the imminent threat of danger of serious or grievous bodily injury or death is there, so you have a justified shoot to protect yourself.
Here's what you got to keep in mind.
In your house in the state of Maryland, they have what I call a half stand your ground law, right? It says that in one's home, you have the right to protect yourself without having to retreat. And you can use whatever you need. You can use force to deter or to defeat that threat. So one of the things that we say is if you're at your front door, somebody, or we don't have to say front door, somebody's trying, let's say that guy that lived 2 doors down from you, they are You hear them trying to kick your door in. They're saying stuff like, "Oh, we're gonna rob you, we're gonna rape you, we're gonna murder you, we're gonna, whatever." They're not supposed to be there. They're doing it by surprise.
All right.
You have the right in your house to defend yourself or try to even deter them from doing what they're doing by using force.
Is this
This is the law.
But my question is, for people who don't know, how long has this law been in effect? Because my neighbor went to jail because they told him you wasn't in danger. You could have went somewhere in your house and hid, and you could have called 911. You literally shot through your door and unalived that person, but it wasn't an immediate threat because he did not break the threshold.
So I think that's where having proper legal counsel might come in.
I think also with people watching this, proper training and the know-how.
So here's the thing.
It's better to know the law and be on the right side of it than to defend your house and end up going to jail.
I'll throw this in there.
Go.
Maybe they said you didn't know who it was. It could have been a fireman. It could have been, because in Temple Hills.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Oh, Skillet was a friend of mine, the fireman that died.
No, it wasn't a fireman. No, that's not that situation.
Okay.
It was literally somebody breaking in.
In Temple Hills, though,
Right.
the same area that we're talking about, there was a guy going through a diabetic emergency. The fire department came, they knocked on the door, he got a shotgun shot through and killed John Umschneider, Skillet. I guess in thinking, the only thing that could have gotten him is if he didn't know who was on the other side of the door and just shot freely. Maybe that's why, right? But in today's world, I pull out my Ring doorbell, see guys that are masked, see guys kicking in my door. I know what they're there for at that point. I'm going to defend myself.
It was a solid door, the old-fashioned one, the 3 windows at the top, peephole, and he heard active kicking or banging or something as if somebody was trying to breach his door. He took his 12 gauge, shot through the door.
I think waiting until they actually get through the door and then lighting them up would have changed it.
That's what they said he should have done.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying to everybody out there listening and watching. It's better to know the law and be on the right side of it. And that's what we were talking about here today, protecting your home. What can you do? What can't you do? At what point in time? Because the detective's going to come to your house and is going to ask you, at what point in time did you feel your life was in danger? Come to find out, if you hear somebody breaking into your house, you go get your gun, load it, get it ready, and you sit on the steps and wait for them to breach the door, you've got another problem. That's now premeditated.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is.
In your house in the state of Maryland.
If I go get my gun,
doesn't
knowing
matter.
you're breaking in.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it is. We will come back to this topic. This is going to be a continuation. This is going to be a part 2 to this one.
Yeah.
If you
and we'll get a couple of our lawyers maybe to come in as
definitely.
special guests to kind of talk about
Let's
this.
see if
But
Ruffin and the guys can come in. Because again, if you go, what I was told is if you go
it's not premeditated on your property.
If you go get your gun, load it, and then sit on your steps and wait for them to breach your door, you have premeditated.
No.
Yes, it is.
So that's where USCCA, that's where Law Shield, that's where all that stuff comes into play, where they will actually give you the best lawyers in the world for free. And
it's
you
not for free. They charge you a
well,
monthly
I mean, you have your monthly subscription, but outside of that, it's free. Like you don't have to pay for the court time. I would. Every dollar I have or will make in the rest of my life, it's not premeditated because the law very unequivocally says
What does it say?
you have the right to use force to deter or defeat a threat in your house.
Okay. I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying
It's not premeditated.
if I go get a gun and I'm sitting on the
Wait. Is it premeditated in actuality? Yes. You knew that they were breaking in. Eventually they're going to get through and I'm going to shoot them. That's not premeditated murder, though. It's not premeditated because the law says you have the right to use force to defend your house or defeat the threat or scare them. So that's not premeditated.
Okay.
It would not hold up in court. We'll
Part
put a
two.
wager on
Part
this.
two.
Yep, we'll put a wager on this for part 2.
This will be part 2.
But absolutely, that would never, ever fly.
Okay.
But we're a little bit halfway. Actually, we're towards the end of the time that we already. This kind of took off on us.
That's what I said. Part
But
2.
here's a couple things, right? Let's go in order. Just a couple of things to kind of get out that information, right? So number one, fire, fast, relentless, unforgiving, right? Today's world. I remember when I first started firefighting back in 2002-ish. You had a solid 10 to 12 minutes before a house would flash. And that's when everything in the house or in that room gets to the threshold of it lights when the temperature's that high and just immediate lights. And that's when you'll see it kind of roll out the doors and windows and stuff like that. Now you have a matter of 2 to 5 minutes, most places, right? Just because of the chemicals, the lightweight construction and things now. Smoke kills you faster than the flames do, right? Most of the time, somebody that dies is dying from inhalation more than burns, or first before the burns. But a couple things: keep your door closed, right? In your bedroom, keep your door closed at night, because it's crazy how much that stops. I mean, I can't show you. I mean, there's pictures online that you can look up, but like telling you is, I can't tell you enough. We've literally been to fires that have claimed lives, or even that haven't. And the difference between life and death, you open the door to the bedroom that the door was closed, and there's just a little bit of soot on the wall. Everything's good. The hallway, the room down, completely gone, right? Like, it's super crazy. Working smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, right? That's a silent killer.
Don't they
And
have
then,
a combo?
Yep, most of them are now, and they have 10-year sealed batteries on them too, so that you don't have to change the batteries, because they're supposed to be good for 10 years.
Yep.
But smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, and escape plans, that will save your life 100% of the time. And then here's a simple one. If you have a fire extinguisher, high five, right? Like, amazing that you have one. Do you know how to use it?
Yeah, I take the top off, fill it up with water, and then hook the air pressure hose up to it. Go outside.
That's a water
super
can.
soak.
That's a water can.
It's the best
You were
super
hanging
soaker
out
in
at the
the-
firehouse with us too much when we used to play
Best super
pranks.
soaker in the neighborhood.
But like a true fire extinguisher, most people don't know how to use them. So
No.
they'll have them in their house. They might be
Pull
20
the pin,
years old.
aim up high.
Right. Must be 20. It's probably 20 years old or more.
Yep.
They've never pulled the pin, and it's not even charged anymore.
Does the fire department still give those?
No.
Because I know at a point you could get a fire.
You can give them to the firehouse, and they'll dispose of them most of the time.
But they don't give you a free one?
No, absolutely
It's
not.
I thought they used to give you that and a smoke detector.
Some of them will still give you a smoke detector if they have like grants and stuff like that. It just depends on the department.
Gotcha.
So, real quick, firearms in the home, what's the responsibility, right? Safe storage, access control, training. It's always funny. It leads back to training when we're doing these conversations.
And guys, the classes for firearms, fire safety, CPR, EMS, I want you guys to understand, hear me and hear me well. There's no age on it. Make it a family thing. I'm sure Josh is willing to offer great discounts. Bring the entire family down. Learn how to secure your weapon. Learn how to load your weapon. Create a plan. Where do you go? Where do the kids go? If somebody breaks in, where's our safe spot we all meet at? What do we do? If you're like me and you're in a black household, everybody just, fuck it, figure it out. But training is monumental. Where do we go if there's a fire over here? If somebody breaks in, who's going to call 911? Who's going for the weapon? Where do we go? Somebody breaks in your house in the middle of the night, you don't know. And there's a story, remember the guy who was in the bed asleep and he thought somebody was breaking in, but his daughter was coming home from school, and he shot and killed his daughter. It's these simple mistakes from lack of training, lack of knowledge. I can't stress to you guys, we're going to continue this on part 2.
Nope, we're just going to take a break and hear from our sponsors, and we'll close it out in a minute.
You've been listening.
Oh, wrong one.
This is the Protectors Project. Real conversation.
That's the wrong one too.
You might want to mark.
We'll get this right eventually.
Let's take a quick break and hear from our sponsors.
See what training does? You know what buttons to push.
All right, welcome back. So we're always looking for new sponsors, like they said. Come see us, come be part of the team. We'll give you shout outs, commercials, social media, website stuff, sponsorship for us. As we grow our audience, we're going to grow with you and help spread the word about you as well. So, so when we went to break, we were talking about plans, right? But one of the things about plans and training that I want to make sure I cover before we get done with today's episode is this: loaded versus staged, right?
Okay.
And so they do make Stop Box is one of them. Vault Tech is who I actually am a big fan of. I have a lot of Vault Tech equipment. I also have a Stop Box.
Vault Tech, call us.
Yeah, right. Be a sponsor. But there are things like mine is an alarm clock, and it has 2 dual charger MagSafe chargers on the top. And it does everything, but all I have to do is touch my finger to it and it shoots it open. I grab my gun, it's loaded, I'm ready. I have something within a matter of literally a second, and I train. One of the things that you have to understand when we get into this is most defensive firearm reality situations are close range, in low light conditions, and high stress. So you have to train like that, right? You have to turn the lights off in your house, close the blinds if it's light outside to make it think it's in the middle of the night, right? And you have to practice like that. If your home defense gun doesn't have a light, maybe you put a light laser combo or a light on it, right? But there are training platforms out there that we even sell. On our website, we use SIRT, S-I-R-T, so the SIRT pistols. But you can get the ones on Amazon that just, it looks like a round that chambers in your barrel, and when you pull the trigger, you just have to reset it, but it actually shoots a laser. And you can go on Amazon and get these reactive targets and put them around different parts of your house, down your hallway, and just practice, right? Practice, 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 because a lot of people don't know this. Most cops miss their first 7 out of 10 shots in a high-stressed environment, and they probably practice the most, right? That's with all the training they go through. What are you going to do, right? If you don't have a shotgun or a rifle that you're using, you have to be, you know, if you have a long hallway to the doorway, whatever, practice. If you carry or stage a firearm, can you access it under stress? Can you positively identify a threat? So do you know what's on that other side of the door? Can you justify and articulate that you saw on your camera that they were masked up and they had an AK-47 in their hand and they said, hey, we need to hurry up and get this, right? Can you justify that? You knew you had a positive target now, right? And can you stop once the threat stops, right? We train that you neutralize the threat. That can look a lot of different ways. That can be if the threat's killed. That can be if the threat's down and they drop the gun or the knife. We train that you neutralize the threat. So you have to kind of shift your mindset. A firearm doesn't necessarily make you safer. The decisions you make is what does.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of people have firearms out here, guys. Take the time, spend the money, go to the range. I have 2 personal friends that have firearms and they've never fired them.
Crazy.
If you don't know what that gun's going to do when you pull the trigger, you don't know the recoil, you don't know the kickback, you don't know nothing about it, it's just as dangerous as putting it in the hand of a child.
Real quick, let's talk about a couple of the most common mistakes people make at their house, and then we'll close it out. One thing, buying the coolest gear without building the right habits.
Oh, no, you the last one to talk. You buy
I have the habits, though. I know how to use everything I have.
Yes, you have spending habits. You buy everything that comes out.
Don't tell my wife.
She knows.
Oh, I know. 1 is that. 2, assuming technology replaces your thinking, right? That's a common mistake. Technology doesn't replace...
AI for everything.
I do use AI for everything. ChatGPT, you want to be a sponsor?
God knows you do.
We have business accounts. We have all that stuff. Number 3, we've hit this multiple times, not practicing, whatever the case is, right?
Yes.
It's evacuation and escape plans for fires, firearm issues where somebody's breaking in, there's a threat of violence in your house, right? Number 4, ignoring fire risk. That's one of the most likely things that's going to happen, right? That and medical emergencies.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, y'all in them dry-ass Christmas trees.
Or turkey fryers, right? People frying turkeys and they don't thaw it enough, or overfilling the oil.
YouTube some of those videos, people.
And then one of the biggest ones, overconfidence, or just saying, I'll figure it out if it happens.
Yep.
So
I got the water hose right here.
Yeah.
if the grease fire blazes all through the backyard and burns up little Timmy, I got the water hose.
Right, it's going to spread it. Here's at the end of the day, this is the thing, right? Responsibility doesn't outsource very well. It's going to be yours, okay? Legally, whatever. One of the last things I'll say before we close up this episode is, I don't say this often, but one of the good things about the state of Maryland when it comes to, it saw me moving, so it went to tracking mode on our camera. We got these little high-tech cameras.
No, he ain't fixed yet.
Let's do this real quick. Let's go back and make sure you guys can see us okay.
Just me. I don't really need to see you.
All this high-tech stuff, man. There we go.
Didn't you just say?
Yeah, I know, right?
Buying the latest shit and don't know how to use it?
Exactly. So here's the reality, guys. The one good thing about Maryland law when it comes to firearms
Maryland law.
is that if you claim self-defense, it is the burden of the state to prove without reasonable doubt, without arousal.
What's arousal?
It's the burden of the state. Maryland has to prove 100% without a shadow of a doubt that it was not self-defense. You don't have to prove that it was. And there's 4 things. I'm not going to give those away yet. We'll have to have another episode where you have to come take a class with us.
Part 2.
But it's very clear in the law what it is in Maryland. So learn the law, know the law. That's what's going to keep you out of jail.
I'm going to tell Ann that.
Yeah. So let's bring it home, literally, right? We're talking about home protection.
Yeah.
Protection at home is not about fear. It's about love, responsibility, and leadership. We want you guys to feel comfortable. Walk through your house tonight even. Get your family together and say, hey, if something happens, what would you do? And when you find out the answers are all different, come up with your escape plan and actually make it a reality.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Guys, look, I'm going to be real with you, and I know y'all don't want to hear it, but this is what this podcast is about. We are known to just figure it out. And when I say we, I definitely mean Black people. We're known to play it by ear at the last minute. It takes you 30 seconds to create a plan. And like I said, YouTube the video because it's a very tragic video, but the guy literally was laying in his bed asleep. He thought somebody was breaking in, didn't realize his daughter was coming home from school. She popped from around the door and he put 2 in his own daughter. And he has to live with that for the rest of his life because there was no plan. When you walk in the house, you announce yourself. You say, hey, I'm home, because you know dad's in the room sleep, dad's in the house somewhere. I'm not gonna lie, truth be told, I almost shot my own child twice. These are the things that has to happen. These are the conversations. Hey, don't come in here sneaking up on me. Don't do this, don't do that. Again, like, share, follow. Josh, any closing remarks for our people? Remember, DSSIMD.com. Josh is offering great discounts all of 2026.
Comes out of his paycheck.
For you all to come. Don't come to DSSI. Josh is definitely offering discounts all of 2026 for you guys to come get trained, because knowledge is power, and without it, you can't save lives, including your own and the ones you love.
Guys, you don't protect your home because the world is dangerous outside. You protect it because the people inside are what matters the most to you, right? Keep that mindset.
That was beautiful.
That was good, right? I come up with a couple good ones every once in a while.
That was like Jerry Springer's final thought.
It was good. So here's the deal. Walk through your house tonight. Go through what would you do if, right, with your family, and just kind of see where they're at with things to see and prove that you do need this, right? Next episode, situational awareness, all right? How to be situationally aware in everyday life.
Yes.
So that's going to be next episode. We can't wait to see you. Again, every week, same day is when these podcasts hit. We want you to interact with us. We have social medias. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, X, all that kind of, I guess X and Twitter are the same thing. We have all of these things, right?
So old.
So what I want you to do is I want you to start interacting with us. Start telling us what you want us to talk about. Ask us questions. We'd love to start asking or answering some questions from you guys as the viewers. But like you said,
share,
follow, and we can't wait to see you till next time. Stay safe, keep protecting.
You've been listening to The Protectors Project. New episodes drop weekly, focused on leadership, preparedness, and real-world protection. If this episode added value, subscribe, share it with someone who carries responsibility, and join the conversation. Until next time, stay prepared, stay accountable, and lead well.